bread making. Take 2. We are on coronavirus quarantine day number 5. So far, so good. Everybody is still alive. And we are on our 5th batch of bread. So here we go. I have 1 cup of honey. And I buy my honey raw, so it comes in a solid form. So I already melted mine. So you're going to do a half to 1 cup, depending on how sweet you like it. But usually I just throw a chunk in there and melt it and see how it comes out. This time it happened to be almost exactly 1 cup. So we're going to do 1 cup of honey. I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And then we're going to add 2 cups of milk. I'm attempting to film this myself this time. I had Brody film it for me last time, and it was a little shaky and half of it was upside down. So we will see how this goes with me filming. And a little chatterbug in the background. Don't mind her. So 2 cups of water, 2 cups of milk. We use lactose free just because that's what I buy. Use whatever you got. And I'm going to throw this in the microwave for 2 minutes and 22 seconds because I'm too lazy to push 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Why do that when you can just push 2:22? And we're back. Okay. First of all, I like this Pyrex baking dish. I got it for like $6 at Fresh Market. I like it because it holds a little more than 4 cups, even though it's a 4-cup measure. So I can sneak my honey in there at the same time, which is handy to me. Okay, I'm going one-handed here, so scrape, scrape, scrape. I'm going to put it in my Bosch mixer. If you have a KitchenAid, that works just fine. But if you are in the market and you're not sure, like if you wanted to buy a mixer and you weren't sure which one to get, the Bosch mixer is better for bread. So if you're wanting to make more bread, I'd go with the Bosch mixer. If you're more into like cookies and cake batter and that kind of stuff, then a KitchenAid is your friend. So I like the Bosch mixer because it doesn't have that big overhead thing, although it is hiding under my counter right now. It doesn't have a big overhead, so it's easier for me to pour my ingredients into. I just have to try to be careful not to pour it right down the middle because this whole part comes out and then it can get down in the middle and get a little bit rusty. But, you know, life goes on. It's fine. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of yeast. And this is just the Red Star Active Dry Yeast. I get it at Costco. And I've not tried instant yeast. I'm sure you could use it, but I've just never tried it. So here is my 2 tablespoons of yeast. So we've got 2 cups of water, 2 cups of milk, 2 tablespoons of yeast, and 1 cup of honey. I'm just going to mix it up a little. I just want to get it wet, and then we're going to let the yeast proof. So we're going to come back in about 8 or 9 minutes and check on our yeast and see if it has proofed so you can see what that looks like. Okay, it has been 8 minutes. So this is what our yeast looks like when it's proofed. Hopefully you can tell, zoom in, you can see how bubbly it is. So it's really bubbly and foamy, and it's not, like you can't see the water or the milk anymore. It's kind of just sitting up on top of it now. Nice and bubbly. So it is ready for all the rest of our ingredients. We are going to add 4 cups each of white flour and wheat flour. So here is my 4 cups of white. If you'll notice, I didn't quite fill it all the way up because it's better to have like not enough flour than too much flour, because that is what's going to make your bread really thick and dense and crumbly, is if you have too much flour. So I like the Wheat Montana flour. That one that I put in was the white. This is the Prairie Gold wheat flour, and it's just it's a white wheat rather than a red wheat, so it's just a little bit, it's not quite as heavy. But I do half and half to, you know, maintain some sort of healthiness or something like that. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons. Watch me maneuvering. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. And then 2 tablespoons, we're back to our tablespoons of, this is Vital Wheat gluten. So you only need to use this if you're using wheat flour. If you're doing straight white flour, then you don't need to use it. It's just meant to help the wheat flour. It makes it not as dense. and a little stretchier if you're using wheat flour. So you're going to do 1 tablespoon for every 2 cups of wheat flour. So we did 4 cups, hence 2 tablespoons of the Vital Wheat gluten. If you don't have Vital Wheat gluten, it's not the end of the world. You'll be fine, but it just helps a little bit. And then I'm going to do 1 stick of butter. And if you are like me and just pull this straight out of the fridge, I would put it in the microwave for about 8 or 9 seconds and then flip it over and do another 8 or 9 seconds. And then it's perfectly softened. Now I'm going to mix this up. Okay, I've started mixing it, and you can see here that it's just a big globby mess. So I'm going to turn this on. Hopefully you can still hear me over it. I'm going to add a little bit more flour at a time until it's all in one big clump. So I usually, when I'm adding more, I usually add more of the white. This is, it makes a lighter bread, and you know, everybody loves their white bread. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the white. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more white and a little bit more wheat, but we're going to go with white this time. So we want to make sure that it has time to incorporate all of the flour that you just added. Sometimes it'll hide inside. So you got to watch it and make sure it's really incorporating it all. As you can see, there was some hiding on the inside. And we're just going to keep adding a little bit more at a time. I would say maybe like 1/8 to 1/4 cup at a time until it's all in one big ball. This is another reason I love the Bosch mixer. It's really easy to add to. It also has this lid, so at the beginning, when I first turn it on, I put the lid on it so the flour doesn't just fly everywhere. Then I can pull it off and easily work with it. Okay. See how it's all in one clump now, spinning around the bowl. The edges of the bowl have been cleaned off, and it's all in one clump. That's how you know that you have enough flour. So that's why you want to add just a little bit at a time, because you just want it to barely be at this state, and that's how you have enough flour. Okay, I want to stop it just for a second. It's only been mixing for 2 or 3 minutes, so I know that it's not done, but let me adjust here. Where's the camera? There you are. I wanted to show you this really quickly because it's one way to tell when it's done mixing. So I want to show you how it is not done. So let me get this just right. Trying. But I'm stretching out and see how it just breaks like that. That means that it's not done mixing, and I'll show you what it looks like when it is done mixing. Okay. It's been kneading for about 9 minutes, and now this is what I was going to show you. So I'm going to take a little piece and I'm going to slowly stretch it really thin, and you can see how you can start to see light through it, but it's not breaking. That's how you know when you can see that, start to see the light through it and it's not breaking. That's how you know that it's kneaded long enough. So now it's ready to roll out. Now we're going to get our bread pans ready. So I have 2 different kinds. I have stone and cast